Wait, somebody tagged me in a video. Buddy, that's your twin? All right, chap. All right, what are y'all trying to tell me? Yo, he's wearing a jacket? Yeah, I am. I actually wear this to work a lot. Like, you guys want to know what I look like at work? It's like this, yeah. Oh, darkest moments on Mexican TV. Oh no, it's 14 minutes. Let's see how spooky these really are. I'm Mexican, by the way, chap. Let's see this.
Mexican TV is mainly controlled by two companies, Televisa and TV Azteca. Therefore,
I remember seeing both of these logos as a little kid all the time on my parents' TV.
both of these companies own around 96 to 97% of all commercial television in the country. This leads to a pretty tight control on what viewers see and don't see. One notorious example of this happened in 2017.
In 2017.
¿Qué es lo que tienen que hacer en este momento? Conservar la calma y evacuar de inmediato. Me voy a levantar y voy a evacuar.
Oh, is that when an earthquake hit?
Mexico was struck with a 7.1 magnitude earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
More than 40 buildings had collapsed, 370 people were killed, and 6,000 injured as a result. And tragically, one of these buildings was a school.
Oh, damn.
Children and teachers were trapped under the rubble. So rescuers quickly responded and tried to save as many people as they could. And while there were many children, either dead or stuck, one name stood out from the rest.
Exactamente, Denise. Antes me gustaría aclarar que el objetivo primordial de esta noche y de este día es rescatar a Frida Sofía. Da lo mismo ya
Frida Sofía.
Frida Sofía.
Who's that?
Apparently, there was a 12-year-old girl stuck in the ruins of the school, waiting for a rescue. And Televisa covered this story extensively. For 2 days, the search went on and on. As the Navy was clearing out the rubble, they kept relaying information to Televisa reporter Daniela de Iturbide, who was on site. They would tell her that they would see Frida's hand moving, and that they were giving her food and water, and that they were close to nearing her rescue. And while all this was going on, many parents and family members gathered by the school to see their children, and to give info to the Navy about the details of their child, hoping that they would still be alive. However, it was reported that no family member ever spoke out about their child, Frida Sofía. You would think that because of this rescue being so widespread, someone would come out claiming to be a relative or a friend. And so people started to speculate if some confusion had happened with the names. But with the Navy using so many of the resources on Frida, people still believed that she was real. Well, after 2 long days, it was confirmed that no child named Frida Sofía ever existed at the school.
What the
and that
fuck?
the name was simply made up. Meaning, all of that time searching for Frida Sofía was wasted.
So what if it was just that television reporter that fucked up?
Huge outcry against Televisa for reporting false news, and they put the blame on the Navy. You see, Daniela was only reporting what she was being told. And as I mentioned before, the head of the Navy was giving her information on Frida Sofía. They kept telling her about their progress.
Oh, never
She was
mind.
just covering it. But because Televisa had such a huge influence on the news, everyone kept hearing about it.
Confirmado, Frida Sofía.
Confirmado es Frida Sofía. Dijo Ana Sofía, Sofía y Frida Sofía es el confirmado.
And that's the problem with Televisa and Azteca TV. You only get 2 sides of a story. Shortly after this event, TV Azteca, being their competitor, aired an episode of The Simpsons called Radio Bart, because the plot consisted of Bart Simpson doing a prank where he fooled Springfield to think a little kid named Timmy O'Toole was trapped in a hole. The same way, Televisa fooled Mexico about Frida Sofía. Mexico has some really amazing shows.
I mean, that was ominous, not
We also
really like
have
spooky
some of
or
the weirdest
scary.
shows ever created, and Pacatelas was one of those shows. It was a comedy show hosted by Paco Stanley, often accompanied by his assistant Mario Besales. I don't know much about the show, but I do know that it resulted in one of the most infamous moments in Mexican TV history. The show frequently had a segment, typically before commercial breaks, where Paco Stanley would make Mario dance the gallinazo. The dance was meant to mimic a chicken with the craziest song playing in the background. And one day, while Mario was doing this little dance, we saw something we weren't supposed to see.
His dick flies out. I don't get it. What happened? Oh wait, he picked something up. What was that? Oh, right there. He goes to pick some shit up. Ooh, is that coke? Was that a bag of like cocaine? Even the host, it's almost like he was like kicking it to him. He was like, oh shit. Yeah, he was like, oh shit. He was like kicking it.
If you somehow didn't catch that, when Mario was going crazy on the floor, he dropped a bag of cocaine. Noticing the bag, he swiftly went to go pick it back up, but Stanley, out of sheer panic, tried to kick it out of the way.
Yeah.
Embarrassed by the situation, he started to fan himself with paper. If that wasn't crazy enough, Mario would even give the bag to Stanley as he kept doing his chicken dance. You can clearly tell these guys were full of cocaine, especially Mario. I mean, just look at him.
Also, they shared it. Didn't? Oh.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is one of the funniest things I have ever seen. I could not stop laughing. The cocaine, the dance, the music.
I mean, it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Isn't Mexico known for that shit with the cartel and stuff? Like, cocaine's like one of the biggest things that they be working with, right?
But what makes this video so dark?
Cocaine.
It's what happened afterwards.
Oh, wait, what happened after?
You see, both Paco and Mario had long been rumored to be involved in drugs and sex trafficking, as well as being in trouble with cartels. And on June 7th,
cartels.
Paco, Mario, and another colleague left the TV Azteca studios after their morning show to eat in a restaurant. When they all finished, Paco and Mario went to the restroom at the same time. Paco finished first, and he told Mario that he was going to wait for him outside in his car.
Wait, why you told me to shut up and don't say shit like that? What did I say?
Paco and Mario went to the restroom at the same time. Paco finished first, and he told Mario that he was going to wait for him outside in his car. And while he was waiting, three individuals walked towards the car and started shooting, firing more than 20 rounds, killing Stanley with 4 shots to the head. On the autopsy, they found a bag of cocaine in his shirt and in his system. Now, it's not confirmed fully, but supposedly, Mario called a hit on Stanley. He was in the bathroom after all, and it wasn't long before he was arrested. And after a little over a year, he was released. There were heavy rumors that Mario's wife was having an affair with Stanley, and that Stanley would often abuse Mario. Not wanting to be a psychic no more, it would make sense why he would call it a hit. Now, Mario has actually spoken about this clip in an interview. Despite the rumors, he spoke very highly of Paco. And when he mentioned the bag, he said it wasn't drugs, just Kleenex and a box of matches.
Well, I mean, that's clearly a fucking lie. So, like, do you think they ordered a hit because, I don't know, like, maybe it was not going to be public that they'd be doing business with the cartel or some shit? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, okay, dude. We've seen you dance. Even though the Reynazo clip gives me so much joy, it's still sad to see what would eventually happen, knowing that Mario most likely called the hit on his partner.
So his partner right there called the hit on him. Also, what the fuck? Like, don't say shit like that. You act like I said something so unknown. Like, people don't fucking know Mexico and, like, the cartel. Like, they make movies on this stuff. What the fuck? Like I'm not saying anything new. You act like I'm outing, like, a specific member or some shit. That is common knowledge. That's like me saying China did Tiananmen Square or some shit. I don't know. Oh, also, I'm not saying, like, Mexico is known for being high on coke. I'm being, like, coked out and shit. No, I'm just saying Mexico, like, what is usually tied to Mexico when talking about, like, how dangerous some parts are, the cartel. What does the cartel mainly do business in? Coke. I'm not saying Mexico is tied to drugs. Like, I'm not.
Televisa is known to be the biggest production company in Mexico TV. Their shows are viewed by millions of people, not only in Mexico, but in other countries as well. And so, heavy rumors started to sprout of a catalog filled with hundreds of pictures and names of actresses who could be bought for a night or two for sexual activities.
Ooh.
El Catálogo de Televisa, or the Televisa catalog as it's known, has created a lot of conversation and controversy around Televisa, who already has a pretty bad reputation. But for a while, these were just rumors. There was no proof of any catalog. Well, it wouldn't be long before some cracks started to show. In 2009, when authorities raided Mexican drug lord El Chapo Guzman's house,
El
they found an album filled with pictures and names of women who work or used to work for Televisa. And then Mario Lafontaine, who had worked for Televisa as a producer for 28 years before he was fired, described Televisa as the biggest brothel in Mexico. He also recounted the sexual favors that actors and actresses had to fulfill in exchange for leading roles, who were under the orders of senior executives.
No, yeah, unfortunately, it's not just Hollywood, aka in America. Like, it's just in anything showbiz for women specifically, there's always gonna be those predatory guys that are like, oh, hey, like I can get you a gig over here if you do a little something for me. Like, you know, it's just the sexual exploitation in return for helping their career, you know? Yeah.
Over time, dozens of people came up speaking
sad.
about this said catalog. In one instance, actress Alejandra Avalos openly talked about being invited to the catalog, not once, but twice, being offered around 1 million pesos or $60,000 a night. On the contrary, actress Maricel Santa Cruz, who used to work for Televisa, would say how she would complain that she would never be invited to join the catalog, being offended that they wouldn't think of her as pretty enough to join.
Damn.
There are many
fuck?
videos you can find on YouTube about people openly talking about the Televisa catalog. And while it's not one singular moment, you combine several different ones into what would be known as one of Mexico's darkest moments on television. Hundreds of thousands of people go missing every year. Just last year alone, over 500,000 worldwide. And Mexico has some of the highest missing rates. In 2023, the number of people reported
does not
disappeared
surprise
in
me.
Mexico reached a record high of 100,000.
100,000?
With TV being so popular in the 80s and 90s, many pictures of missing people started to show up in these networks
That's like a town disappearing, basically, like that population.
as a way for the public to help out in these search efforts. It was commonly known that Canal 5, around midnight, would often air a broadcast called
Oh!
Servicio de la Comunidad.
Wait, Channel 5?
AKA.
Is this the video that I made? About Sofia something? No, what was the name? I made a video on this, right? Yeah, Celine Delgado. I literally made a YouTube video on this. Sushi, Mushi, Celine. Yeah, see? Damn. The memories.
de mayo del año
Let
2000.
me see. Look at me, bro. Look at me. This was, when was this? Look at my face. I was rocking the beanie. This was December 18th, 2023. That's when I uploaded that video.
AKA to the service of the community. This was a broadcast listing many names, pictures, and information about missing people in hopes of the whereabouts being reported to the authorities by the viewers. Sometime around 2001, one missing person stood out among the rest.
Canal 5, al servicio de la comunidad. Cristian Vélez Zamudio. Va en compañía de los menores Erika Cecilia y Cristian Daniel Vélez Ávila. Cualquier informe a los teléfonos de Canal 5. Selene Delgado López, de 18 años, se extravió el 22 de abril en la delegación Álvaro Obregón.
That person is Selene Delgado Lopez, who was 18 at the time of her disappearance. No information is known about her other than her name, age,
Damn, what a
and
blast
location
from the
of her
past.
disappearance. From many reports, Selene would show up more times than anyone else in these broadcasts. Combine that with the blank facial features and the quality of the photo, this picture would scare hundreds of kids who were just trying to watch TV. As a result, an early urban legend spread, claiming that Selene died and that her spirit haunted Canal 5. Other rumors would spread that she wasn't even real and was
Bro,
created by Canal
Mexican
5 to intentionally scare
creepypastas
children.
are next level.
Around the same time, images of the police sketch of the Baton Rouge Slayer would start to spread online. And many people would compare these two pictures, claiming that Selene Delgado was made from the police sketch. And it would make sense why Canal 5 would fake an image like Selene Delgado. Due to a rise in crime, it would be in their best interest to scare their viewers, as well as spread awareness of safety towards the young people in Mexico. But if I'm being honest, this whole concept is already scary enough. This image is just as creepy as this one, or this one. I don't think it was necessary, but who knows?
Yeah, to be honest, like all of the portraits were similar to hers. I think it's like I think this image, this face, this person was the perfect balance of overexposed, so like it's all white, but her eyes pop out. Every
It's
other
already
image was
scary
too
enough.
clear. Like this one was too good. You can tell it's like a normal human being. And then this one was too overblown to where it's just like, oh, it's just a shitty picture. I don't care. But hers was like a perfect blend.
If this person is real, then it's very sad to see how her image was treated, being used in comparison to a serial killer. And that was it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on these. A lot of them came from you guys, so thank you for sharing.
No, yeah. That was so short. Yeah, it was like 15 minutes. Thank you guys for being here. Follow me. No, for real though, follow me on Instagram and Twitter so that you're up to date on when my shockers get here so that you can be ready for the stream. Dude, that's going to be a big stream. I can already tell. I can envision 800 viewers for that stream. The clips that are going to be made from that stream when everybody's just spamming bits to shock me, just to hear me suffer while playing a game. That's going to be crazy. Be ready. Bye. I will see you guys in the next stream. All right. Bye, guys.
Shut it up.